The USTA and the broadcasters simply could not drown out the boo birds that were directed in the president's direction every time he appeared on the Jumbotron at the U.S. Open men's final between Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Journalists in the crowd, like Ben Rothenberg, noted how they did not cease. He'd write in a tweet, "Oh, U.S. Open just showed Trump on screen again during this set break, and there was loud, clear booing this time." He'd add, "Once I actually got inside and listened to this video, I realized the booing was pretty indistinct on my audio, but other videos of the moments have much clearer booing. Trust, it was loud and clear, but acoustics weird in ash when the roof is closed." Now, there's a lot of layers to this, okay? First off, prior to the men's final at Arthur Ashe Stadium, Donald Trump's security forced those who would normally catch the start of the match to miss up to an hour, if not more.
Lines are not moving.
President Trump's attendance here at the U.S. Open men's final causing a security nightmare for thousands of fans. For many of them, it took more than an hour and a half to get into Arthur Ashe Stadium. How long have you been in line?
Oh, over an hour. I'm a season ticket holder too. I've been a season ticket holder for over a decade, and I've never seen anything like this.
I don't know. I kind of wanna sit on my couch and watch the TV instead.
Expecting me a little security, but we already had security over there. I don't know what they expect us to do between that security and this security.
I can't stand Trump, and this is just another reason to not like him.
Did you know that it was going to be enhanced security today when you came?
No idea.
Yeah, we've never had an issue with this getting into the Open before, so this is kind of crazy how long it takes.
Ever waited to get in.
We thought we'd come in, get us a bite to eat, and then go into the game. It only take 30 minutes. Nope, it's been crazy. So.
The final would be delayed a half hour because of the President of the United States. Some commented their own theory. He knows New York hates him and he wanted to get back at them. Journalist and commentator Jorge Morjado would report from inside Ashe Stadium that it was still not even half full at the start of the final, a big mess. Owen would air his frustrations, pushing back the start of an event that everybody wants to watch in order to accommodate somebody that nobody wants to be there. Then came the reporting. Rothenberg printed for bounces that one company tried keeping their name somewhat hidden, but it did not work. After corroborating with several sources, bounces can report that Trump will be attending the U.S. Open men's final, not at the behest of the tournament itself, but as an invited guest of Rolex, the luxury Swiss watchmaker, which has a large suite inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. And more from Rothenberg with the USTA. He'd obtained an internal email which requested that broadcasters censor any possible protests or other reactions to President Donald Trump's presence at Sunday's U.S. Open men's final between Sinner and Alcaraz. It would read as follows. With respect to broadcast coverage, the president will be shown on the World feed and the Ashe Court feed during the opening anthem ceremony. We ask all broadcasters to refrain from showcasing any disruptions or reactions in response to the president's attendance in any capacity, including electronic news gathering coverage. Let's be clear. The USTA directed that the Republican president of the United States, Donald Trump, be shown during the national anthem because of this hyperfixation of nationalism in this country, and less people are likely inclined to boo him during that rendition. It was a strategic play that backfired. That's what they were hoping for. I mean, how much more do you have to cater to this guy's insecurities, man? This is beyond pathetic. And for all those saying, keep politics out of sports, you're quiet today. From Rothenberg once more. But the preemptive instructions outlined by the USTA in this email, asking broadcasters to censor and avoid any possible protest or negative crowd reaction to Trump for television audiences watching around the world, is further complicity in broadcasting Trump's desired stagecraft for his first appearance at the U.S. Open in a decade.
He got invited to go back to the U.S. Open, but he is such a titty baby, and he knows how wildly unpopular he is, that he told the USTA to tell the media not to film any of the booing. And so this creates this huge thing for everybody going into Queens to get into Arthur Ashe Stadium. People that have paid a ton of money to go to the US Open are going through multiple layers of security just so this sex offender can return to the scene of the crime and fake that he's popular. Decoding Fox News reports that he arrives at the US Open. The stadium is basically empty, you guys. It is basically empty. So he goes out because he always wants to have this Eva Perón moment, right? He's waving to an almost completely empty stadium. There's a crowd of people who were held outside due to security reasons. And here is what they staged for him. And I want to tell you, the stadium was less than 10% full. Okay. You guys saw from the video before, these images of him match up. There are barely any people in this stadium, but Fox has to only show the zoomed in, and then they artificially fill it in with all of these cheers as though he's popular, because this is what propagandists do.
Via Rolling Stone, this is the second time Trump was heckled at the Open. The last time he attended the tournament in 2015 was when he was a candidate for POTUS, and the crowd loudly booed him then too. Nancy Armour wrote in her piece, "Anything that can pierce Trump supporters' bubble of misinformation is a good thing. Hearing Trump get jeered loudly for a couple of seconds during the U.S. Open broadcast might not cause the fever to break, but it could make his supporters question why, especially if they're already feeling disillusioned about their growing grocery bills or Trump's refusal to release the Epstein files." She'd add, "A seconds-long clip of a president being booed on a U.S. Open broadcast should not be a big deal, but so many guardrails have been erased by Trump and his minions, and obeying the USTA's edict would have been one more. Good for ABC and ESPN for recognizing that." So here's what I would say, okay? There's a few different points. The first is, why is he even there? I know that, folks were saying, he's focusing on sports more. Why? All I see is how wasteful our tax dollars can be, from the Middle East to the U.S. Open. They are wasting our tax dollars. They are burning our money at this point. The second part about this, if you did attend the US Open and you had to wait in those lines, I'm sorry. One of these days, I would love to go to the US Open. I would love to go to Wimbledon. But what really irks me is that so many of these people just wanted to go and watch tennis, and they probably couldn't even get in till the second set, if not longer, because of him. Astounding. And then on top of this, he looked really upset that Carlos Alcaraz beat Jannik Sinner. I don't know if there's a Georgia Maloney connection with Sinner, or if Trump saw a reflection in him in Sinner. I really don't get it. Or if it's because he just hates brown people so much, and Alcaraz sounds a little too brown for him. Regardless, you could look on Twitter, he looked upset at the final. There were many people also weighing in saying that he screwed over NASCAR fans at Daytona with this charade. Look, it could be. But what really gets me is the USTA saying, we are going to show him during this time when hopefully no one is going to boo him. And then try to show him in a favorable light. And also, don't show any people booing him. And how I take that is try to drown out the boos. If you have to mess with the audio, mess with the audio. It is pathetic how so many are capitulating to this guy. This loathsome of a human being, this small man. And the USTA can now add themselves to being complicit. I saw some speculation on behalf of tennis fans saying, well, this is a power play by Rolex, and Rolex invited him for the tariffs. He's not moving the tariffs, man. He's not. Maybe he'll move them for 30 days. And we'll try to squeeze out some business. But he's already screwed over so many small businesses that Rolex, even if they're trying to do this, do not need you to feel sad for them. They don't need your pity. The mom and pop shops need your support. Not Rolex. Kidding? Oh, well, you got to feel for Rolex, man. They're about to take a hit. Nah, I don't. I feel bad for the small businesses that shape America who are getting ruined because of Trump and his economic policy. So let's try to keep some perspective here, shall we?